Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to resume the Christmas countdown for today's fourth and final video. So this is update number 14 of the Christmas countdown, and we have now discarded the CFSV2. You remember before I went to New York, we was focusing on the CFSV2 for the Christmas updates. Well, now Christmas is pretty much within the entire GFS time frame, so we're going to be looking at the GFS from now on with our Christmas updates, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. We will also have a look at the other mods like the GM, ECM, WF as well. They're just updating as we're doing the video, so the full 12Z swing will be included in this update. Please like, share, subscribe on the video. Thank you so much for doing that. Just to say that the first video today was a 6 AM upload. We've also released European Outlook and 10 to 14 day as well. So it's been a busy day at Gals, where it's well and truly back in business after my little holiday. Thank you so much to Richard for the incredible Christmas updates gifts. Thank you so much, Rich, for the lovely Christmas updates gifts. I have 2 of them this year, and they've both been absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much, my friend, for our lovely gifts. Right, let's begin then this 14th Christmas update. So we're going to begin on the 23rd of December, the eve of Christmas Eve. That'll be 1 week tomorrow, goodness gracious me. And we're looking unsettled here on the latest GFS 12Z run, with low pressure to our north and west, moving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Upper air temperatures look pretty mild for England and Wales, cooler for Scotland and for Northern Ireland. And there's outbreaks of rain around the country. It's still too far away for exact detail. So remember, before I went away, we were just looking at the CFS4 trends. And now we can start thinking about putting in some detail. And you can see we've got outbreaks of rain here in the south, more wet weather in the west. So it looks generally quite unsettled. That's about as much as we can say over a week away, and a big contrast in temperatures as well for the eve and Christmas Eve, with very mild temperatures for England and Wales, ranging from around 9 to 12 degrees, but much cooler for Scotland and Northern Ireland at around 2 to 6. On into Christmas Eve itself, that area of low pressure pushes through the country and away to the east, pulling in this cooler or colder northwesterly wind. Upper air temperatures start to turn colder across the country, especially so through Scotland and through Northern Ireland. The outbreaks of rain clearing away to our south and east, allowing brighter skies, showers into the north and west, and temperatures taking a tumble back down closer to average, away from the south beach, where it's still pretty mild. Temperatures there up to around 9 to 11, but otherwise temperatures returning back to average at around sort of 3 to 7, something like that. And then on into Christmas Day, another area of low pressure starts moving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. So we start Christmas Day on quite a cold note, maybe with some frost, could be nice and white and crunchy on the ground. Mostly dry day, but there's a band of heavy rain waiting in the wings to sweep in across the country. However, this does actually suggest that Christmas Day could be a mostly dry, bright, sunny day until this wet weather arrives, perhaps on Christmas night. And quite a cold day as well, temperatures ranging from around, say, 2 to 7 degrees, which isn't too far from average, but will feel rather chilly, especially if there's a frosty start. Low pressure rattling through the country Christmas night into Boxing Day, so looking very unsettled for Boxing Day. Strong westerly winds, upper air temperature, probably not too far from average. There's another batch of wet weather that's clearly swept across the country overnight, Christmas night, leaving us with these showery conditions coming into the west. And temperatures, again, not too far from average, somewhere around sort of 3 to 7 or 8 degrees. Probably quite mild down towards the south coast, so for Tuesday, 27th of December, which I think is a bank holiday this year, looking unsettled as well, with low pressure well and truly dominating the weather. So mostly mild in the south, but cooler further north. Further outbreaks of rain across the country. The times of these rain bands, are uncertain. And I have to say, this is a milder and wetter and windier and more unsettled GFS run compared to earlier GFS runs today. So this whole scenario might not be what's going to happen, but this is how it showed up, for this particular Christmas update. So 27th of December, wet windy weather, clearing eastwards, followed by sunshine and showers, probably very mild in the south and southeast, temperatures around 9 to 12 or 13 degrees, a little bit cooler further north and west. Wednesday 28th of December starts to pull up what looks like a rather long wet southwesterly, so remain mild away from northern western parts of Scotland, turning wet for England and Wales, some heavy rain mixed in, drier for Scotland and for Northern Ireland, really mild in the south, cooler further north. Thursday 29th of December, wind shifting round into the south, and that is quite a long fetch southerly that we're pulling in there, by the way. Very mild air bathing into the country there on the 29th of December. Wet in the north and west, otherwise mostly dry for England and Wales. Temperatures are very mild across most parts of the country into double digits. And then through to Friday the 30th of December, we look like that. So still generally quite a mild scene, really, in most areas, especially so in the south, a little bit cooler further north. Turning drier, there's some showing outbreaks of rain around, but it looks like it's turning drier there. Temperatures look like that, so still really mild down in the south. Temperatures there up to around 10, 11 or 12 degrees, a little bit cooler though in central and northern regions. And then we get through into Saturday the 31st of December, as far as we get to today with the GFS, which is New Year's Eve, of course, and still unsettled with low pressure out to the west, and still mild upper air temperatures, showing the country bathed in mild temperatures. There's further rain in the north and west, and temperatures again into double digits quite widely across the country. So that's how the GFS 12Z is looking tonight for the Christmas week. Let's have a look at the GFS Ensemble, see how that fits in, shall we? So you can see that initially, of course, hang on, let's just get the highlights up. You can see that initially, of course, it's pretty cold at the moment. We've got these, excuse me once again, we've got these cold upper air temperatures right now. It is going to get milder over the weekend into the early part of next week. And then we go into the Christmas period, which is this period just here. If I highlight a wood update, which it isn't going to, is it? You can see that, yeah, the Christmas period has trended milder over the GFS 12Z Ensemble suite. I tell you what, I'm going to pause the video and wait for my highlights to come up. Hold on. Right, it's up. Okay, I can highlight this now. So, you can see that we're starting off cold at the moment. We're going to go milder over the weekend into about next week. This is the Christmas period just here, and the GFS ensembles have trended milder for the Christmas period compared to earlier on today. I'll show you that in a moment. The operational run, which is what I've just been looking at, does become something of a mild outlier late on between Christmas and the New Year, so not necessarily an outlier, but it's certainly up the mildest of the suite. However, quite a big shift has taken place there in the GFS ensembles. If you look at the 6Z suite, look at that, you can see that through Christmas, the Christmas period, the GF6Z ensembles were actually colder than average, with most of the ensemble members down here, whereas the 12Z looks like that. Notice how the white line, the ensemble mean, is much closer to average. So there has been quite a significant shift, actually, I think, within the GFS tonight towards a milder Christmas and Christmas to New Year period. Let's have a look at some other model data. So we'll have a look at the UK Met Euro run. Why not do that? So this only gets us to Thursday the 22nd of December, when we try to pull in some colder air from the northwest, but this area of low pressure here will be a complicating factor. We've also got ICON, which you can have a look at as well. That one gets us to 180 hours. That looks like it's about pulling some colder air actually from the north. So let's enable the hover. That will take it from around 96 hours. So mild, wet, windy at the beginning of next week, and then that low pressure pushes through into the middle of next week, and have some colder air come back in from the north. Then low pressure's running into that cold air. There might be some funny games with that, and up to 180 hours we look like that, which gets us to midnight on Friday 23rd December. That low pressure through the country, but it does look as though as that low pressure clears away to the east, it could start to drag in colder air from the north. So if you want a colder Christmas, that looks a little bit more promising. And then we've also got the GEM, which is mild, wet, windy through the early part of next week. Then that low pressure pushing through the country by the middle of next week, bringing colder air from the north. Notice heights building up around Greenland and Iceland again through the latter stages of next week. That looks cold. We get to Christmas Eve when we're putting in a cold northerly bear with low pressure on east, high pressure blocking around Greenland and Iceland. So GM giving us a cold Christmas. Gets us to 240 hours, which is Christmas Day. GM is looking cold for Christmas there, and then the ECM WF has just been updating, again looking mild, wet and windy through the beginning of next week. That low pressure then pushes through, but we don't get wind into the north up to Christmas Day, staying unsettled and relatively mild, keeping those northerly winds at bay. So not pushing the low pressure through quickly enough to get the northerly in. It is starting to bring in some northerly winds into the far north of the country by Christmas Day, but mostly we're still under this area of low pressure, which is a relatively mild low. So there are all sorts of options on the table here. There's lots going on. And it does look as though Christmas is all to play for. So we wait and see how this is going to resolve itself. It's on a knife edge. We could still get a cold Christmas. I think tonight we probably shifted a little bit towards a milder, wetter Christmas outcome, I have to say, but it's not a done deal by any means, and we should wait and see what happens as we go through the next few days. We'll try and get another update done over the weekend. That'll be update number 15, coming up at some point over the weekend, and we shall see then. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 14th instalment of the soap opera that is the Christmas Countdown. It's more dramatic than Meghan and Harry and the royal family, this, isn't it? Well, maybe not. But anyway, yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, 15th instalment over weekend sometime. But for this one, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Richard, for the gifts. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.